आज ही डाउटनट ऐप डाउनलोड करें। डाउटनट पर होगा अब आपके सभी मैथ्स, केमिस्ट्री, फिजिक्स और बायोलॉजी डाउट्स का सफाया। बस अपने क्वेश्चन की फोटो खींचो, उसे क्रॉप करो और तुरंत वीडियो सॉल्यूशन पाओ। डाउनलोड नाउ।
In this question, they are giving us a statement that with the advancements in genetics, molecular biology and tissue culture, new traits have been incorporated into crop plants. Now we have to explain the main steps of breeding a new genetic variety of crop. So we all know that agriculture is becoming more and more important because the human population is growing explosively, and so as to feed and sustain this large growing human population, we need improved crop varieties which can give us a high yield, and also we are looking for plants which have more desirable agronomic traits, such as being resistant to the disease causing pathogens and even to the insect pests. And apart from this, we also want resistance to abiotic stresses such as salt, drought, unfavorable climatic conditions, and also improved quality such as enhanced levels of various nutrients. So these are the main traits which we look for in an ideal crop plant. It should give us good yield along with being resistant to diseases, pest, abiotic stresses, and preferably the quality should be improved. So there are a few steps to any plant breeding program where we are trying to incorporate such new traits or desirable traits into the crop plants, in which invariably the first step is going to be the collection of variability. In any plant breeding program, before we can try to incorporate the desirable genes into our crop plant, we should first know what different kind of genes are available in the existing varieties and even in the wild varieties of this crop. So when we have all this information about the entire gene pool which is available in the cultivated and wild varieties of this plant, then we can continue with our plant breeding program. And out of all this variability, out of all this genetic diversity, we have to identify and select the parent plants which are going to have these desired qualities or these desirable qualities which we want in our crop plant. So after collection of variability, the second step is identification and selection of parents. Then between these parents, we have to carry out cross breeding or cross hybridization so that the desirable characteristics of both the parents get combined in such a way in their offspring that we get a plant which is going to give us optimal yield and have all the desirable agronomic traits also. So we are going to carry out cross hybridization between the desirable parents, and after carrying out such a breeding program, from among the different progeny that we are able to obtain, because obviously in sexually reproducing organisms we cannot produce clones, or we cannot produce genetically or morphologically exactly the kind of organism that we want. So out of the progeny that will be produced after cross hybridization between two desirable parents, we have to select the recombinants which are showing an ideal combination of all the desirable traits. And finally, out of the recombinants which have been selected, we have to release them so that they are available to the farmers and commercialize them so that they might be widely cultivated along with the other existing varieties. So what are the steps of a plant breeding program where we are trying to incorporate new traits into the crop plants? First, we have to collect all the variability, all the different kinds of genes that are available in the whole gene pool. Then we have to identify and select the parents which we are going to use in our breeding program, which have all the desirable traits. Then after cross hybridization between these parents, we have to select the recombinants which have all the qualities that we require. And finally, after testing, we have to release and commercialize the superior cultivars which have been obtained after our breeding program.
क्लास 6 से 12 से लेके नीट IIT JEE मेंस और एडवांस के लेवल तक 10 मिलियन से ज़्यादा स्टूडेंट्स का भरोसा। आज ही डाउनलोड करें डाउटनट ऐप या व्हाट्सएप कीजिए अपने डाउट्स 8400 400 400 पर।